Hi, welcome back to Lakeside Quilt Making Arts. I am Dawn and I'm at the lake, so that's why you see Dawn at the lake as part of the channel name. This video is being released on a Monday, and that means it is a Moda Blockheads video. We're working on the most current one. I'm trying to stay in pace with Moda Blockheads. Moda Fabrics does a group of sew-alongs, I guess, every year for the past 5 years, my understanding. This is Blockheads5, group 2, and we're working on block 14. This is what the block looks like. And if I look a little stressed and concerned, it's because they're challenging me this time. So this is what it's called. What is it called? It's Radiant Starfire by, I want to say Brigitte, but maybe it's Bridget Heitland of Zen Chic. And I should probably know that name. I do apologize to the designer for not knowing how to pronounce her name. The lady who does the YouTube videos for these blocks every Wednesday, in my opinion, she accurately identified this as kind of a modern block. If you look at it the way it's shadowed, the way it's shaded here. And I don't really want to, this is what it's going into. These are the blocks I have done already. This is just up there for coloring purposes. It's just cloth and that as well. These are the ones I have done. So you can kind of see this. It's not really modern at all. I'm going for a marbleized effect with my colorway. And so that's why I want a really busy background. I have these fabrics as my backgrounds, and I like that a lot. I have one that just has white with a little bit right there, a little bit of movement. I like that. That's my objective for this particular quilt, was for it to be very marbleized and just really blend from one to the other. And you don't really get that with this design, but you know how they're really challenging me? It's not because that looks modern. That's easily fixed. You just change out your colors, and they always do a good job of giving you your color sheet so you can color away if you want to. I don't need to do that on this one, I don't think, because I kind of have a really good feel for what I want. Good enough feel. I mean, I can describe it to you, and I'll show that to you in a second. I'm going to do kind of like what, I think her name is Lisa, the lady who hosts her YouTube channel. I'm kind of going to do very similarly to what she did. And what she did just isolates that star in the middle, and everything else is just background. And that's cool. That's good. That agrees with my objective too. I got stars, stars, stars everywhere. And I love, here, I love that little bitty star in there. But my stress comes in because this is paper piecing. This is it foundation paper piecing? Is that what you call this? Whole brand new experience for me. And it says, this block is designed to challenge your skills and encourage creativity with color placement. When you consciously arrange lights and darks, it truly makes the design pop. Well, if you know anything about me, and I love to be conscientious about my color placement. I can go on ad nauseum to describe and overthink color and color placement. So that's not the issue this time. I'm fine in that regard. Got to feel for what I want, but it's this whole brand new thing I got going on there that's intimidating me. All right, so I know I don't have a lot of. I know that I probably won't get done today because this is a new technique. Even though Lisa, I believe her name is Lisa, said that it sews up quickly. I just know there's a lot of learning curves for me, so I got a lot. I want to like double check, and I want to read this and read that before I do this or do that. So I know it's going to take me a little bit longer, and I want to be in bed a little bit earlier because I got an early morning tomorrow. I'm going to go interview a quilter in Huntsville, and tomorrow is our eclipse. Are you ready? Do you have your eclipse glasses? I know where one pair of those glasses is, and it's hanging out in my purse because it's going with me into town tomorrow, just in case I get hung up in Huntsville. And I don't get back here for the eclipse. I want to have those glasses with me. So if you have your glasses, take them with you if you're leaving your home in case you need them, because this is going to be like a really big event. Here, we're supposed to have 90% obstruction. So I can see the lake from here, and I'm going to go out there on the pier. That's my objective, to go out there on the pier and kind of just lay down on the pier and just be quiet and watch it for a while. I don't know what I can film of that safely. You're not supposed to put your camera lens up at the sun, but maybe I can do a passage of time of watching just the scenery go through light to dark to light. I don't know. We'll see. There's supposedly wildlife, responds to the eclipse and everything. So that'll be interesting. It probably will have a little bit of an eerie feeling to it. But I have an early morning appointment in Huntsville. I need to get up early for, so I need to make sure I get enough sleep. So I'm not going to push it. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will go together really quickly. But first, let's talk about color placement. I got my colors figured out, but that took me way longer than I thought it would. Generally, I can make my coloring decisions much quicker and smoother. I think it's just because this block intimidates me, or maybe I'm just in a mood. Who knows? But let me show you what I've come up with. And then I got to figure out, because everything's different on this pattern, right? I got to figure out how to put my swatches with what's happening on the pattern. It's different this time. So what I'm thinking is that this is my star. And there's a reason for that, because we already have a little star that has these two as the star points. I'll show that to you on screen. And then these two, they're both dots, would be what you would see midway on the ray that comes out from the star point. And then at the tip of that ray, you'd have these two at the tip. So these are kind of your off-whites, and these have a strong white background. That pulls together how these are being used throughout the quilt. So put them all in one block helps to pull the whole quilt together. I did not insert any green in this one because I'm uncomfortable with the block in general. So I wanted to stay in one kind of monochromatic. It's not completely monochromatic. I mean, we're in the blue side of the family of the color wheel, but this is clearly a more teal where this is not. So these are our backgrounds, and these would alternate is what I'm planning to do right now. Just alternate with the shirt background and the shoreline background all the way around. That would give it the scrappiness feel, and this would make this block then a good one to merge the big blocks that have just this as a background and the ones that have just this as a background. Putting them both as a background in one block will help with that. So because I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with this block, though, I'm thinking I'm going to do just a 6-inch. Okay, true confessions, my friends. I don't know what I'm doing because none of this makes sense to me. I'm going to have to rewatch the Moda's website to understand how this all relates. I just did it in a way that made sense to me. I put a code in each of the little sections, and then down here, I explain my code. Each one of these sections, like what I'm doing basically is each quadrant look just like the other one. So what I'm doing is this is what I'm calling my shoreline navy floral, and this is my shoreline blue floral. And those are here, shoreline navy and shoreline blue. All the way around, they alternate. And then these are my dots. I got blue dot and cream dot. These two things right here, blue dot and cream dot. Those alternate going all the way around. And I've got the blue dot going up against the navy versus going up against this one, because I want the lighter one to go up against the cream dot. Okay, that's our midway of our ray out from the star. The tips of our star is going to be really light, and I'm going to have white, and then I'll call this one chevron. To me, it's not really a chevron, but I really don't know what else to call it. It's got a lot of triangles in there. That's going to go here, and it's going to alternate white, cream, white, cream, white, cream, white, cream. And the white is up against the blue dot, right, like that. Those go up against each other, blue dot to the white, and then cream dot goes up against the chevron. these triangles here all the way around alternate between our men's shirt, MSB, men's shirt background, and our short SB, our shoreline background. I kind of want to go on to the next step of piecing, of actually doing some foundation paper piecing, but I almost feel like I need to have a fresh brain to do that because it's all brand new. Normally, I like to at least put my foot in the door on that thing that is intimidating me before I stop. I don't like it to be looming out there in front of me. And I think it may have to in this case. I really have run out of time because, like I said, I need to get in bed early because I'm going to go interview. I believe her name is Stacy Hook, Houk. All right, I figured out how to label. I've rewatched, and well, before I went back to watch the Moda YouTube channel, I took another look at this and it made more sense. I guess I was just feeling flustered, but it was easy to figure out, okay, all of these units are my, I can't read from here, cream dot. All these units are my chevron. All these is my shoreline blue floral and so forth. So that made sense. Here I have, this is my background, these two, and I have two different fabrics being used there. I have 8 fabrics in use, whereas they show 7. You know, she did say that they typically provide swatch squares for how it's shaded from the designer. And I did hear her say the person's name, and it's not Bridget. I can't recall. I want to say Brigitte. I think it's Brigitte. Brigitte, if you ever see this video, I'm so sorry I'm butchering your name. I don't mean any disrespect. Right now, I'm reminding myself, guys, that I wanted this. I signed up for this. I signed up for this sew along so that I could learn a lot, and I'm learning a lot. Today I'm learning a lot, and I don't think my brain was ready for it. But that's not going to stop me. I'm just going to, eat this elephant one bite at a time. So this video is being released on Monday, and I've been committing that I'm going to go ahead and start a different sew along on Tuesday, and that's the what's it called? Piece and Quilt Sampler quilt by Susan Aki and Lisa Alexander from their book Celebrate with Quilts, and it's a fat quarter shop quilt along, but a lot of other people are doing it too. So the Tuesday video will be related to that new project. Since I'm not going to get this done today, you'll probably see this finished hopefully on Wednesday. Because right now my Wednesdays and Thursdays are still my flexible days. Wednesday is meant to be reserved for doing my Comfort in the Waiting hashtag Avery Quilts, and then Thursday's meant to be reserved for my therapy. The things that kind of bring me joy, doing some work outside of the box, and it's not a quilt along with anybody else. It's just something like my unicorn or my Mars quilt. Now, those things I have some, complete flexibility on the timeline, especially now on the unicorn quilt, since my granddaughter knows about it and she has seen. If you can see it from here, I put it up here. She saw it and she looked at it and goes, "It's a unicorn." But she didn't really know how to relate to it because it's just this piece of fabric that I was showing to her. She can't visualize it just yet as a quilt or a pillow, but she did choose to have it made up as a quilt for her unicorns instead of a pillow. Someone suggested the pillow, and I thought it was a brilliant idea, but she chose for it to be a quilt for her unicorns. So that's what it's going to be. So I've got flexibility on my Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I do want to get back to the unicorn, and I do want to get back to the Mars, and I do want to get back to the Comfort and Waiting. I have initiatives there, and I will push them forward. Sometimes you got to have a little bit of wiggle room in your schedule, and Wednesdays and Thursdays are my wiggle room. So I'm not going to get done. I'm going to get my pieces, my paper cut out, and that may be all I get done. So I'll see you guys back here to finish out the Blockhead, hopefully just on Wednesday, but who knows, might be Wednesday and Thursday. If Wednesday I get all of this cut out and I get my fabric cut out, I feel like all the heavy lifting has been done up front, and that's just the thinking of the fabric. I got to get everything cut, but you don't have to worry so much about being super precise when you're going to be doing foundation paper piecing. We'll see how far I get on the Wednesday video. Hopefully I'll get the needle moved significantly or all the way over to the finish line. We'll see. I feel like my block's going to be fine. I think it's going to work inside my quilt. I think it's going to be one of those blocks that helps to bring the other blocks together. So our background is going to have this background and this background. So it'll be a good blender, because I don't know yet how I'm going to lay this out. If I'm going to have this lighter background on like one quadrant of the quilt or one section of it, and then it's going to bleed over into this. Because I also thought about, where is it? Let me get it real quick, show it to you. This same design, let me find it. So this is our shoreline background that we're using right now. And we started using it because it's pretty similar to our shirts background that we had been using. See how similar those are? It's a little bit more dense, and it's more teal versus the dark blue. But so inside this line, you also get one with green, and you also get one with blue-green. It's the same design. So I have considered making some of the upcoming blocks have these backgrounds in them. And so you really get a very marbleized effect if you do that. I'm going to give that more thought before I just jump into that, so don't worry. That's not a decision, just letting you guys know what I'm thinking. I'm going to call it quits, and I'm going to get this video up for you guys. And I'm looking forward to my interview tomorrow. I've done a fair amount of interviewing of people in my last profession, and they were on camera, but it wasn't for public consumption. It was just for private use. I'm not feeling nervous about doing the interview or anything. I feel comfortable going in and talking one-on-one with somebody and asking them about their quilt. I mean, how fun is that? I'll get the interview done and I'll get it made into a video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And I'll get this block done, don't worry. I hope you guys are enjoying your own stitching and all is going well for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting. I really do appreciate it. Really do. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.